This is Stephen and welcome to Own or Disown News. Now, the way we enjoy content has changed and we are no longer tied to a single piece of hardware to watch our latest TV show or movie. And game streaming has promised the same thing. And NVIDIA's GeForce Now has reached 1 million users. Now that is a lot of people. And many are probably actually just taking advantage of its free package to get a taste of what it is really like. Now, one attraction is the ability to play your Steam, Uplay or Battle.net library wherever you have a good internet connection. There are no upfront costs, no special hardware to buy, and in contrast, it is reported that the Google Stadia is struggling to get users to adopt to their platform. Now, Pocket Gamer reports that Stadia app downloads are half of what they were at launch. And the number of people playing Destiny 2, its flagship free game, is now less than 1/3 of what it was at launch. That's about 5,500 players, which accounts for only 0.5% of the number of people playing on the other platforms combined. Now, this is a shame, as I have tried both Stadia and GeForce Now, and in my time with Stadia, I thought that was the smoothest and was the most lag-free. It requires only 20 megabits per second to play 1080p at 60 FPS versus GeForce Now's 25 megabits per second. Now, what Stadia needs is more games and a free model. Now, fortunately, later this year, their base model will be available with no upfront costs. Just buy the games from their limited library, which currently is only at about 26 games, with another 100 due this year. Now, in contrast, GeForce Now has 1,500 games available. Perhaps a more interesting contender in the streaming world is Shadow. Now, this is where you have a computer in the cloud that can handle other things as well as gaming. Now, they did contact me once, to do a trial, so I will see if I can get in touch with them and get that going. So, are these game streaming services the death of PCs? Well, last week I reported that the gaming laptop market is actually growing to above 20 million units for 2020. However, the global PC market is expected to shrink by as much as 3.4% this year, or even more should the supply of components be further affected by the situation in China. In 2019, 396 million PCs were sold. So in 2020, this could be reduced to about 360 million. Now, my sources are already telling me that sourcing components is getting very difficult, even cables, RAM and SSDs. So what does this mean, for us? Well, depending on how far ahead manufacturers have bought ahead, we might see delays. Although one manufacturer told me that Intel 10th Gen RTX Super laptop cards will be here in April. Certainly we will see higher prices though, and I am hoping that this doesn't trickle down to the current generation or even the second-hand market. Good news for AMD fans. In the fourth quarter of 2019, AMD GPUs saw an increase in market share from 13% in 2018 to 19%, whilst NVIDIA fell from 72% down to 63%. Now, this chart does include both dedicated and integrated GPUs. Now, if we focus on the dedicated GPU market, then AMD increased its market share by 3% to 27% in total, which is still far off from the 73% market share that NVIDIA enjoys. Still, this is welcome news as we need this competition. Some details have emerged on the Xbox Series X. The custom RDNA 2 GPU made by AMD, which we'll see in the upcoming big Navi cards, will have 12 teraflops of processing power. So to put that in perspective, that is between the RTX 2080 Ti and the 2080 Super desktop cards. Now, this will also be available in the PlayStation 5, so the next generation consoles look to be very impressive indeed. On a final note, Amazon has opened its first full-size Amazon Go cashier-free grocery store in Seattle. Now, these are for people who want to practice stealing without getting caught. You just scan your app as you walk into the store, pick what you want, and then just run out. Now, seemingly state-of-the-art 720p laptop webcams are used to capture images of the shopper's face so they can track you if you return an item to the shelf. And it uses Microsoft Azure AI, which is used in gigabyte laptops to work out who you actually are. Now, Amazon has issued a warning that twins or people with big beards are not allowed to shop at the same time. And Best Buy reported that one customer thought they had the same advanced system, but unfortunately his anti-face detection system wasn't very effective. Well, that's it. I'd like to thank you for watching Own or Disown News. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on the next episode. Bye.